Hey guys, welcome back to IGCSE Math Solution. In today's video, we'll be learning about geometric progressions. So, let's get started. So, in our last week's video, which was about arithmetic progressions, you would have noticed that APs are a series wherein you add or subtract by a constant term each time. And here in geometric progressions, it is somewhat similar. You keep on multiplying by a constant number each time to get the next term of the series. So let's get to an example. My first example would be like I take 5 and I keep on multiplying 2 to it. So I'll get 10, 20, 40, 80 and so on. So if you notice over here, my first term was 5, then I multiplied 2 to it. Next, after 10 I again multiplied 2 to get 20, and so on. I keep on multiplying 2, and this is a geometric progression. Here our basic idea is about multiplying by a constant number each time. We'll take another example for more clarity. I take my second example and my first digit is 3. Now this time I'll keep on multiplying it by -2. So I get -6, after that I have 12, then -24, and so on. The series goes on. If you see here, my constant ratio is the ratio by which I keep on multiplying to get the next term of the series. So here my ratio is -2. Next we move on to finding the nth term, which is we also denote as Tn. Now Tn for such a geometric progression, it will look like ar raised to n minus 1. Here a is my first term. This is the term with which my series begins, so I denote that as a. R is my constant ratio and n denotes the term which I want to find. Suppose I want T5. Now my T5 will look like AR raised to 5 minus 1, which is AR raised to 4. Now we have talked about the nth term of the series. We have something else which we talk about a series as well. That is the sum of a series. So in geometric progressions, we have two types of geometric progressions based on the value of r. Number 1. Number 2 is convergent series. Now what is a divergent series? A divergent series has its modulus of r greater than 1, and for a convergent series the modulus of r is always less than 1. Now r was my constant ratio, so if my constant ratio is greater than 1, that will mean each and every term of my series will be greater than the previous term, because when I am multiplying by a number greater than 1, modulus of the number is greater than 1, then my terms will always keep on increasing. So that will be a divergent series. Divergent series is that series which has its modulus of r as less than 1. So when I multiply by a number which is less than 1, each and every time the number will keep on getting smaller and smaller. And why are these series called so? We'll look at it in a few minutes. Till now we have only talked about Tn, which is the nth term. Now we'll talk about Sn, or sum of a series, sum of a GP, geometric progression. So let me say my sum is equal to S. Now S will be equal to A plus AR plus AR square until AR raised to n minus 1. Now to calculate the sum, here I'll use a little bit of math technique, if you call it so. I'll just explain whatever I do, just hang on with me. firstly I'll multiply r to this same equation and I'll rewrite it again. So I get SR is equal to, and one more thing which I'll do is, I have my first term as A. When I multiply it by R, I'll get AR. But instead of writing it as over here in the first term, I'll write it below AR itself of the first equation. So I have AR plus AR square and so on until AR raised to n minus 1 plus AR raised to n. Now I have not done anything, but I have only written the terms diagonally. Like this is my first term of the second equation, this is the second term. If you see, the corresponding terms are actually written diagonally to each other, but you'll see why I did that. Now I'll subtract the second equation from the first one. So what I get is S minus SR, that is equal to, now for subtraction I'll subtract the terms which are written below each other. So I have A minus 0, which is just A, then I have AR cancelling AR, AR square gets cancelled, and so on. Each and every term, if you see, it will get cancelled until AR raised to n minus 1 also gets cancelled with itself. Now finally I have this AR raised to n left with me, but because it is written in the second equation, it will have a negative sign with itself. So I have negative of AR raised to n. Now I will take things common on both the sides. I have S times 1 minus R, that is equal to A times 1 minus R raised to n. And because my goal was to find S, now I'll just divide by 1 minus R throughout. I get S as 1 minus R raised to n divided by 1 minus R. So this is the sum of a geometric progression for the first n terms. So if I want to calculate the sum of first 5 terms of a series, I'll just put the values of A and R, and here the value of n I'll put it as 5 because I only want the sum of the first 5 terms of the series. So you see, you have a direct formula now for the sum of a geometric progression. If you have any question regarding sum of a geometric progression, you can directly use this formula over there. But it is quite rare, if you ask me, you are not asked sum of GPs which are so huge that you cannot manually calculate them. But it is good if you know this formula. They might sometimes test you in some other, they might not ask you to just calculate the sum of a series, they might give this formula somewhere else. So if you are just aware of it, even that will be great. Now as we were talking about the two series, which were the divergent series and the convergent series, if you see what I had told you about divergent series, they were those series which actually blow up because each and every term will be greater than its previous term. So let's just see, if my R is greater than 1, what kind of a graph do I get for my sum value. Now let us look at the difference once again of a divergent and a convergent series. Divergent series are those where your modulus of R is greater than 1, and convergent series is where your mod of R is less than 1. To see why we call a divergent series as divergent, we'll use the sum value. Now I'll take an example to show why we call a divergent series as divergent and why is a convergent series called convergent. So let me take a simple case wherein my A is equal to 1 for both of them, and for a divergent series my R is 2, and for a convergent series my R is equal to half. So now that the conditions are satisfied, let me just plot a graph to see what will be the value of the summation of a series. Now I have input this value for the sum of a divergent series where my A is 1 and my value of R is 2. So if you see, this will be the value of my sum, and as my value of x, as you have taken over here, as it is increasing, as I increase the number of terms in my series, the value of my sum is actually diverging. It is exploding, going through the roof. It is just uncontrollably increasing. So if I zoom out a little bit, what do I get? All that I get to see is this sum line is just increasing. So that is why we call this as a divergent series. The more and more terms that you take in, that you consider for your summation, it diverges a lot. It is not approaching anywhere, it is just increasing. So this is a divergent series. Now this is an example of a convergent series where my value of r, it is less than 1. And if you see in this example, precisely if I take more and more terms, my value of summation is actually headed towards a value. If you see, the curve of the graph is gradually decreasing, and if you go on and take a lot of terms, you see finally somewhere it is also becoming almost constant. You can say that the sum of this example is actually headed towards 2. So I can say that almost my value of s will be equal to 2. That is why we call this second type as a convergent series, because my value of the sum is actually headed towards somewhere. You can see that when you take a lot of terms, and actually if you take infinite terms, you will get the value where it is headed. But whereas for a divergent series, the value of sum is not actually headed anywhere, it is just keeping on increasing. So that is the main difference between these two types of geometric progressions. Now one last thing remaining in this today's video is about infinite series. So what are infinite series? As you would have noticed, for convergent series, when we actually in theory take infinite terms, only then can I say that my sum approaches a definite value. Otherwise it is also approaching to a value. And for a divergent series we don't have any concept like this, because you have seen that a divergent series just keeps on diverging, so it does not approach anywhere or it is not headed anywhere, so we don't study that part. But for a convergent series we have these infinite series wherein my n is tending towards infinity. This arrow is actually meaning tending towards a certain number, in this case infinity. So when my n becomes infinite, I have infinite terms in my series, I'll have a different value for my sum. So my sum is actually a times 1 minus r raised to n, the whole divided by 1 minus r. So because this is only for convergent series, we know that my modulus of r will be less than 1. So this term will actually be a times 1 minus r raised to tending to infinity, the whole divided by 1 minus r. Now because my r will be less than 1, we know that for a number which is less than 1 and you take positive powers of that, as the power is increasing, the number itself will decrease. As in, I am saying, if you have 0.5, so 0.5 raised to 1 is just 0.5. If you have 0.5 raised to 2, then it becomes 0.25. And here if you see, 0.25 is actually lesser than 0.5. If you take the third power, it will be 0.125, which is even lesser. So as you take powers of numbers which are less than 1, the number will keep on decreasing. So when I take r to the power of infinity, you can assume that it almost becomes 0. This is actually tending to 0, like it is approaching the value of 0, but in practice we can say that s is equal to 1 times 1 minus 0. We take that r raised to n term as 0 itself upon 1 minus r. So my sum becomes a upon 1 minus r. This is quite a simplified term, but this is only useful when my modulus of r is less than 1 and I have infinite terms for that. So with this we come to an end to today's video. I hope you learned something about geometric progressions, and do remember to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell icon so that you get notified when I post a new video. Also remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. All the links are there down in the description box below. I make videos about math and how can you cope up with IGCSE level and achieve your dreams of getting high marks in IGCSE math examination. And if you have any queries, you can mail them to me or put them down in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching.